rest of the day. I'm back. Oh shit, I don't have a hat. Fuck.
Just as I thought it was going all right, I found out I'm wrong when I thought I was right. It's always the same,
It's just a shame, that's all.
I could say day,
You could say night
tell me it's black,
when I know that it's white.
always the same, it's just
The shame, and that's all.
I could leave but I won't
Go.
though my heart might tell me so. I can't feel a thing from
This is a
my
good part coming
head
up.
down to my toes.
Why does it always seem to be looking at you looking at me? It's always the same, it's just a shame, that's all.
Turning me on, turning me off, making me feel like I want too much. Living with you
You is putting me through it all of the time.
running around, staying out all night.
Well, I mean, it's about a sexual relationship, but Okay, so we need to circle back around and address the Coward Center again. Now that it's been some time, so that I could somewhat calm down and kind of think about things. I'm not saying I'm fucking sorry, Coward Center. Y'all can go fuck yourselves. You think I'm gonna say that? God almighty. My thing is that I feel that when I introed this video, I did it with change. They're just afraid of change, and it was about when you fail to change, especially when it's needed, means that you basically quit living. And if you're going to quit living, then it's time to die. And that's kind of the thing. It's just like, this is like, in a way, I'm trying to, give y'all like an intervention. Because I just don't understand why it is the system has to say that they can't switch the care because it would be too difficult, be too expensive, which I don't believe that. I believe it actually would be cheaper, unless y'all want to fuck everything up on purpose so that you can bill it for as much as you possibly can, like you always do. I'm not fucking bitter about nothing, I promise you. But that's kind of the thing is, this is about your own cognitive dissonance. That's what is really upsetting to me. Is y'all, well, what are we going to do? It's like, well, I don't know. If you're the fucking experts that are supposed to handle this, and y'all can't figure out a fucking way to do it the correct way, that really is upsetting for me. This is not something an autistic person likes to, kind of have to deal with. Is it's like, why the fuck am I the adult in the room? This surly, foul-mouthed, curse like a fucking drunken sailor constantly. Why am I the adult in the fucking room here? You should be ashamed of yourselves. But that's just it. That cognitive dissonance you have won't let you. You see, this whole thing, we've figured things out to a lot greater degree lately. God damn it, fucking, what is it? Mass autoimmune syndrome. And, I lost my train of thought for a second there. Where was I at? The thing is y'all went to school and y'all were taught and trained a way to do this. And it was through making excuses for ABA. Adaptive behavioral, then cognitive behavioral therapies. And now it's turning out that actually causes autistic people, more likely to cause autistic people PTSD. You're getting paid to help, give PTSD because the care is not for us. The care is for, the teachers who just want the autistic person to sit still and shut up, or for the parent who just wants to have some time where they're not having to deal with it. Like, well, that's kind of the crapshoot you make when you have kids. People are like, well, it's not my fault. It's like, well, they got pills. It's like I say that all the time. I have this really dark joke that I was an abortion that got away. It's kind of like, because that's just it. It's like Doug Stanhope says, why is it that you think just because this person that you're responsible for bringing into this world now becomes a burden on all the rest of society for your fuck up? And you go, well, it's not the parents' fault. It's like, yeah, but it's not their fault, but they're still the person who's responsible for it. So, God damn it. I didn't mean to put some Ketafin in my eye. I just had something that was like kind of, I get this crunchy stuff like on my edge of my eyelid, and I go to remove it, and then all of a sudden all the fucking shit that's been backed up starts coming out. Hold on. But yeah, so hopefully it'll behave itself now. But the thing is I'm really more upset at the fact that that's kind of the problem with our bloated. I would say it slows molasses, but that wouldn't be fair to molasses. Molasses is much faster than bureaucrats, and much faster than service provider organizations that are just basically government contractors. Y'all set this stuff up over decades, and y'all will refuse to ever really change anything. I know that, just because in fact it's just too much effort. It's like, we have so much to do. It's like, yeah, I guess you do. I mean, so does somebody who installs roofing shingles. It's like, I have the toughest job in the world. I have to deal with violent retards, and it's like, well, what about like a really pale redheaded guy, like a little, short, scrawny kind of like Irish guy who's got to climb up, two-story ladders, to put shingles on a roof in the summertime. Now that's a fucking hard job right there. God, that's one thing I won't do. I won't do like roof work. It's like, look, I'll help you put the decking on that motherfucker, but I'm not putting down shingles. I don't even speak Spanish. Fuck that shit. I mean, you have to speak Spanish, because if you don't hire some a Latin crew to come and do it, then you're fucked. They'll go to like Speedy Gonzalez. I never see people climb fucking ladders and they just walk on it like it doesn't bother them at all. Like they were born on a ladder. But I mean, that's the thing is, we have other. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't work your job. And it's like, I would like to try to have empathy for, the situation you're in. I do have empathy for, even though I probably don't show enough of it, is the actual case workers. Because I'm sure a lot of them kind of figure out over time, yeah, this whole thing is, we're kind of going in the wrong direction. And then they just become completely disillusioned, with their life experience, because, they paid, an ungodly amount of money, especially when that fucking shitty school up the street. They paid an ungodly amount of money to get, college educated, because I'm sure you have to have a college degree to work there. And probably at least in certain fields too. You can't just like go to school and like get a degree, in like, fucking birdhouses or some shit, or Sanskrit, you know what I mean? And get a job. I was like, this is not like anybody with a degree is like, no, you have to have something that's related to it. And they went about it, I mean, kind of like, well, like, it kind of reminds me of this.
My real passion is my hobby.
Really? What's that?
I work with retards. We got this one kid, Mongo. He's got a forehead like a drive-in movie theater, but he's a good shit. So I went out and I got him a leash.
A leash?
Yeah, one of those ones you can hook onto the clothesline, and he can run back and forth, and there's plenty of room for him to dig and play. For me, it's heaven, Those goofy bastards are just about the best thing I've got going in this crazy world.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, he had good intentions. He went and got him, the runner so that, he wouldn't be in the cage anymore. He was just trying, he was just trying to hook up with Mary back when she was still, hot. There's something about Mary. It's like, yeah, she's got a lot of face. I don't know what it is. She's one of the people like she could either be quite attractive or like, why does she look so weird? See, I'm a dick. I can't help it. He was a private investigator, so he's essentially, a notch or two down from being a for-hire fixer hitman. So, yeah, he's a little morally compromised. But he's lying, and he has no clue how to actually say what he's doing because he has no background. He's just a fucking dumbass. I mean, he's slick, but yeah, he's not properly educated in these things. And that's the thing that kind of gets me is, I feel sorry for Christopher Markham because I have a feeling he really does wish that he could, make positive change for people, but he whether he already knows it or he just has slowly gotta let that cognitive dissonance just kind of like ease itself out, so it's not super high pressure. I don't know. But I this the thing is I have this this thing where we go through it. We ask Google Gemini why ABA is bad, why CBT is bad, why they should switch to what is now considered scientifically the much more proven. And it really has to do with more of them not wanting to accept reality. That's why I say it's like, is it just me, or the people who set these policies, are they like fucking delusional or something, or is it just that they have a certain base level of narcissism that keeps them from getting around their cognitive dissonance so that they could deal with this issue? So I say, so they make excuses like, well, if we don't do, CBT, we have to provide some care. It's kind of like if it's actually something that causes people psychological damage in the long run, that's not what you call care, sweetheart. That's what you call you're actually creating an injury, a serious defect injury on this person. And y'all worry about your liabilities. That's what gets me, is that the only reason why this is not becoming a liability issue is simply because of the fact that y'all can say, well, we're following the federal the federal requirements or whatever. I mean, to some extent, I guess, but you also are, I mean, that's the thing, is if you were to provide meaningful interaction or meaningful engagement with the autistic community in a neuroaffirming way, then you would be nervous that somebody might make a mistake and it create a lawsuit. And the thing is I think that our people are kind of we love to fuck with people and threaten a lawsuit, but if there's no, if they it's kind of like they did not intend on there being a situation where something go the way they wanted, that'd be hard for me, and I'm betting most autistic people have a hard time wanting to go, file a lawsuit against y'all if y'all in good faith were trying to, do something good for us. If something happened to happen, I mean, that's kind of the thing. You can't spend your whole life, or you can't run your agency indefinitely on this, theory of, as long as we don't incur any kind of liability, we could provide the best care. It's like, no, that's not providing care. That's kind of like skating around it with semantics. You're playing a semantics game. That's why I say, like, people who are like, you shouldn't use the R word. It's like, what do you mean, fucking retard? It's amazing because I'll sit there and I'll say the F word like 5 or 6 times and they won't say, yeah, you really shouldn't say that. It's like, that's inappropriate. Retard is a mechanical engineering term. That's something that was used as a means to be, empathetic and kind, because they used to call them morons, imbeciles, idiots. Those were actual, clinical, terms, and that's the thing. It's me, is all these people are like, you should say the R word. It's like, go fuck yourself. Legally, I am partly retarded, so guess what? Tell black people they can't say, their word. It's like, I just get so sick of that shit. And that's the thing is this is one of the worst places for that. That's the thing is, I love to use the opportunity to say it, just to see some purple hair fucking, some lady who has given up all hopes of ever looking attractive again and has purple hair is going to just be like one of them fucking mean ass chihuahuas, full blown fucking purple hair Karen. It's like, actually, sweetheart, hold on. Let me pull something out here. Let me show you that I actually am developmentally disabled. And I am also someone who is recognized by the Social Security Administration with being permanently, disabled with, autism spectrum disorder. Oh, and I also do have extremely high mechanical reasoning, spatial reasoning, and really high vocabulary. I also have below average verbal reasoning, which is usually where the issue is. It's just like, I think what it is I can't, it's not so much that I don't understand how to reason verbally, it's so much that I don't understand how y'all cheat the basic laws and rules of language and use things in an improper way. Just like these people who are supposed to provide us care will say that, they have to provide, if they, some kind of care. It's like, sweetheart, that's not care. You're saying it's care because you call it care, but that's really just kind of like a gross manipulation of the definition of care. I mean, if this was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, there wouldn't have been much of an argument because there wasn't really enough information yet. This is something that has been coming out more in recent years. You're going to have to switch to it eventually, because eventually when someone is, in control of our, federal government that does care about these things, especially if AOC, which I don't know, I've heard it. She announced she was running, and it's weird because I actually do like AOC, but I really don't like a lot of people who like her. That's what's strange. She would care. She would push for that. That's what's weird. Is it's like, it's not so much that I don't like progressive politicians. I don't like progressive supporters. Because they're all just a bunch of fake smug douchebags. Just like here, this is supposed to be the most progressive state in the country, and yet they have this extremely archaic, way of going about this. And it's like, well, what does it come down to? They cannot acknowledge that maybe they've been wrong, and that they went to school and paid an ungodly amount of money, probably six figures or more, to get a college education, just to find out that everything they learned was actually not only not correct, it was actually probably causing people. They don't want to admit that. I guess it's like, if it was causing people harm, it's kind of like, well, you were trained by people who claimed that they knew what they were doing and were certified by a university, certified by a state to teach you this shit, and you've just followed what you've been trained to do. That's not your fault. But when you do know, now that it is, and you can't accept it, and you come up with other excuses, that's where the problem is. Because, like I said, it's like my issue with Howard Coward Center is not with Christopher Marker. My issue is with the way their organization is structured, and the fact that they are so contrary of what the state politically. Y'all are supposed to be such a unbelievably pro healthcare state and such a pro progressive ideology state. Y'all have gender affirming care, and y'all make that a serious thing, but to have developmentally disabled affirming care. And here's the thing: we've seen there seems like there's actually, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't for trans community, but I just don't understand how it is with all the scientific data we have now saying, yeah, that's what needs to happen. Y'all don't do it. That's fucked up. But y'all do it for them. Oh, why? Because it's politically popular right now. Which goes to show exactly what I say. Y'all are a bunch of posers. You are. Because the Howard Center is going to be one of the places you probably go to for that gender affirming care, or at least part of the process. I don't know whether it's the psychological end of it, like, they're saying, no, if you feel like you're this, then you're this. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't give a shit. Fuck care less. Do that all fucking day long. Build a government. Fuck them. Or if it's, the actual, like, yeah, you know what? You're so pretty. You should have some titties. And I would fucking giggle like a schoolgirl. Somebody got some Uncle Sam flipping a bill for a boob job for this really pretty transgender lady. And it's like, that's just the finishing touches, sweetheart. That's all you need was some titties. Some of them I get confused because some of them kind of, I don't know, if she kind of gives me a chubby, so maybe I'm okay with her having a penis. If she's going to be that damn pretty. I've fucked a lot of damn cisgender women that aren't attractive as them. Oh, and if the state auditor's office happens to, review this, I'm sorry for my language, and I ain't right in the head. That's why I have to get services. If I can't communicate the way I need to communicate, and I can't really, it's like, yeah, it's offensive. Well, everybody's a fucking adult, right? Get the fuck over it. My channel is set to where it's like, no, this channel is not for children. And if they say, and I have no problem with it. Like, there was one where I did one on LA riots, and saying that if we'd had there was a curfew all over America. If we'd had riots in Atlanta, in support of it, said me and my buddy Jake, y'all stay at his house is down in Buckhead at Picture Battle, which is real close to downtown. Like, we're like 10 minutes away. I said we would have gone down there just to watch it. It's like Gen X is off the chain, man. Especially the 90s was wild. And it's like, all these people these days have these safe spaces, and it's like, how am I supposed to fucking mentally and emotionally abuse your ass if you keep crawling in your fucking safe space where I can't get to you? That shit ain't fair. It's like, we would probably call that, like, some people would call that a timeout. And in some families, they would call that, you're going to get knocked the fuck out if you don't shut the fuck up. It was a different time. It's a lot more fun, that was for sure. So let's go through that. It's rather long, but I mean, it's don't worry, it's got some music to it, and then we'll come back, and then I'll chastise you motherfuckers some more. But like I was saying, I don't really blame Christopher Markham because his hands are tied. I'm sure that he probably is more aware. Now, as far as the lady over there at Benchmark, what's her name? Megan? The fuck is her name? I don't know, something like that. I'm not so sure about her because everything I've asked her to do, the one thing she've asked her to do, she only partly did, and everything else is kind of like, huh? Or then like the time where I kind of like, corner her in a scenario where she has to say something other than, I don't get it. It's like, I don't think it's a good idea. It's like, you said that, you were my employee and I was like your boss. And, so if I need something, it's like, well, I asked you to do something. And it's kind of like, well, I don't give a fuck if they want, if they like it or not. I kind of have my own, unique way of reverse engineering a scenario and, pulling a metaphorical Russian bow on somebody and just kicking you right in the nuts and go, you win. But yeah, so I'm not sure about her. Now, I based on the evidence I have, statistics tell me that she is never going to be someone who can help me, not effectively. I could be wrong. That's the thing. Now, I am a arrogant dick. Well, actually, I'm an asshole. That's the thing I have to warn people. It's like, look, I'm sorry, but I'm a clinically diagnosed asshole. That's been proven many times. Okay, so it could be that just because I'm such an asshole, that's my opinion. But I'm at the point now where it's kind of like I will always question, and I will never feel like that's someone who I can trust. because I just feel like they're just constantly like finding. They think I don't need assistance. They think I'm just using them, and it's kind of like, it's like I basically told her point blank, it's like, I didn't ask for your fucking opinion. I gave you a task. I'm the boss. Yeah, bullshit. It's just like Christopher asked me about places to go where he could go and stand next to me and act like that's meaningful engagement. And I said, hey, let's go to a titty bar. And here's I don't even like titty bars. I mean, unless it's a Claremont Lounge, I love that place, but it's not really. It's kind of like that bar. It's like Jabba the Hutt's bar in Return of the Jedi. They look like, the women there look like aliens because they're anywhere from 20s to 60s. They got fucking C-section scars, shit, bullet scars, bullet scars. I mean, it's a crazy place, but it's really fun. I happen to being real good with the owner. They love me for some reason. I don't know. They don't like nobody else, but they like me. But I just said that just as well. You said anywhere. Well, I said a teddy bar. It's kind of like my way of dropping a hint that y'all should y'all should not put everything onto me. If I could say what to do, that might be a helpful assistance, where it's like, I don't want to go somewhere and just be like, what am I going to do? Am I going to like cold calling people in person, like to make friends? You want to be my friend? It's like, that would creep me the fuck out if somebody came up to me and did that shit. We're not fucking 6 years old anymore. I mean, I act like I am in a lot of ways, but when you're a 6-year-old in the body of a 50-year-old, that's fuck creepy as shit. So yeah, I mean, it's the fact that they don't, and then I can't even go to groups because I have PTSD. They didn't offer me any kind of alternative way to go to group without having to sit through a meeting at their office with my case manager and the person who runs the group. That's what you call vetting. No, what is it? See, it's why both of you motherfuckers need to be there. Could y'all give me a questionnaire? So you would either it's a vetting thing to make sure I don't cause problems that might interrupt billing cycle, because I'm gonna steal their group. I'm gonna steal it big time. And if they if I were to go, but it's the whole vetting thing. Either it's vetting or they're trying to figure out ways to gaslight me, as I mean to help me, And it's like, oh my God, you gonna piss me off? You don't want to find out how smart I really am, bitch. I swear to God, you don't. There's a reason why a lot of people in this town are kind of terrified of me. It's not because I'm dangerous. I mean, like physically dangerous. I mean, I might be, dangerous to your liability. Or I fuck with your head in ways that you'll never get over it. Welcome to my world. So we'll watch that. Like, I just want to stress that, is that, I don't blame the case management as much as I just blame the way the organization is managed. It's kind of like, they're going to be like, well, what do we need to do to get you back, get service at Howard Center? It's kind of like, oh, the Howard Center? Yeah, you let me know when they have new leadership. Well, I mean, it's like, no, I want to know when they have leadership. And I want people who come in there who admit, yes, the neuroaffirming thing is what really should be happening, and we're trying to figure out a way to transition to that as quickly as possible. That's what I want to hear. And if it's for the people who've been working there for years or decades, fuck them. I don't want to hear it from them. Shame on you. Because that's the thing. It's either about their own cognitive dissonance they can't accept, or it's about money. Period. Well, we have to get. I don't give a shit. Go work at Lowe's or Walmart. Go work at Target. Something. I don't know. Why do I have to? Not only not receive the care that I should get, but I'm. They're trying to give me care that is completely against my, best interest, because what's in my best interest is not in y'all's best interest. So y'all's best interest had to be protected first, which seems like that would be a liability issue. So I don't get that either. Enjoy.
What is wrong with you?
I'm retarded. What's wrong with you?
Don't talk back. Just drive the car. Shut your
dark and sticky. Yeah, definitely. If it's me, it's sticky. So did y'all have fun digging in the dirt? Huh? So, you get the drift. I mean, if it moves too fast for you because you're fucking like, partly illiterate, just hit pause. Read it and, let it go. I try a little big to be playing in the fucking dirt, That's like that. That's a line from used cars. Aren't you a little big to be playing in the fucking mud? You know what? I'm just going to stick at it right here.
Now, aren't you a little big to be playing in the fucking mud?
Yeah, I think that, I think the system is just completely screwed. And I feel like I'm just kind of aiding and abetting, a billing cycle that just perpetuates payroll. I mean, if you look at the data, it looks to me like, everything that's going on is not actually helping the clients. In some cases, it may be making them worse. It really does bother me that these little kids are going to grow up to have horrible fears that, because that's the thing, they're not going to they're not aware enough to know that it's like they're going to be so stressed out and upset. And for why? That's not for the benefit of the client. That's for the benefit of everyone else who, if they don't have a problem, they can get the fuck over it. I've just never seen a concept that was so unbelievably fucking self-absorbed and narcissistic as to trying to teach young kids that they can train them how to learn how to mask, how to learn how to not be autistic. That's just fucked up. It really is. It really is. Some years back, The Simpsons, they had kind of like they've made predictions. I think it's just because of the fact that they got like fucking 8,000 episodes. They're going to cover every single premise at some point, and they usually get to it before it actually happens because they think of what strange or unlikely thing will happen, and they'll make an episode about it, and then it fucking happens because we live in in a skewed timeline apparently, and they had this like joke commercial thing about a product that kind of did foreshadow way things were going to go, because this was long before the peak of it. And one of our greatest at one time our largest corporation in America, one of the largest, if not in the world. Check this out. This is a classic clip from The Simpsons.
Wow, this is roomy.
12-yard long, 2 lanes wide, 65 tons of American pride. Can you narrow? Can you narrow? Top of the line in utility sports. Unexplained fires are a matter for the courts. Can you narrow? Can you narrow? She blinds everybody with a super high beam. She's a squirrel, squasher, deer, smacking, driving machine. Can you narrow? Can you narrow? Ah!
Can you narrow? Can you narrow? Yeah, that was like somewhere around the earlier to maybe the mid 90s. I know it was in the 90s, but this was when SUVs were starting to really take off. I'd say that's probably like around 95 or 96, something like that. And it wasn't just that, it was like Jeeps, or like 4Runners. It started to get to where everywhere you look, you start seeing Suburbans. which are basically the same as like having an extended cab small bed or short bed, 6-foot bed but with an extended cab, or a long bed, regular cab. So it was a considerably large truck, just happened to be completely enclosed. And then they just kind of, this was like in an era where they started to put leather, in like large SUVs, and they just, over time, they just kept putting more and more luxury into it. It got to be where it was like a fucking Cadillac from the 70s, It's like, it just was ridiculously how unbelievably, luxurious they were for a fucking truck. And they just got heavier and they got heavier, and then to make up the difference for that heavy ass truck, they just kept putting more and more powerful engines in them. And over time, it was kind of like they would go from having like, a 250 horsepower, Chevy small block, LT1 iron block in the head, aluminum intake, 5.7 liter, which is essentially the motor out of a Corvette. It's a motor out of a Caprice, like a cop spec, Caprice, or basically an Impala was like a cop spec Caprice, like mechanically, but then had enlarging, low profile performance tires, and it had a performance, I mean the comp was performance all too, but it had like a Flowmaster style, so it was like a really nice sharp, specialty, Caprice body on top of, the underpinnings that would be the comp, Caprice. And over time they just kept, even though they would get higher and higher horsepower, I mean the gas would still remain similar, if not even maybe get a little better. I mean, like they go from a 250 horsepower small block to say, an almost, like a 375 horsepower small block, that they put in one of those big ass Suburbans or Canyonero or whatever. And the thing is they've just doubled down and doubled down and doubled down and doubled down. They simultaneously helped to create, the enormous increase in the cost of fuel, the enormous increase, of the damage to the environment from the emissions from it. And it's like, that's why I say I see the same thing, because they failed to recognize that you have to adapt and change. And that's what they wanted to do, was they didn't want to change. They just wanted to perfect more what they got right. America made great, full-size trucks. They even made some pretty good small trucks, like the Rangers to me are almost. I've owned a couple of those things. Those are really good pickup trucks too. But the thing is, they just kind of over the years, like they quit making the small Chevy GMC trigger. They quit making the small Ford Rangers, and then now it's like this Toyota's got this new one coming out. That's it's like a utilitarian type, small, affordable pickup truck. And everybody's like, yeah, I want one. Yes, finally. It's like, yeah, it's like 16 or 17,000 or something, and it's basically it's kind of the equivalent of something you would have gotten, 25, almost 30 years ago, was slightly updated. And the thing is because they don't want to adapt, they don't realize that what's going to happen is that another organization is going to start off from the ground, engineering it to work with the neuroaffirming thing, and they're going to work with lobbying with politicians to make sure they can change some of the laws for this to work the way that it does. And y'all are just going to be I mean, look, they've already brought in Benchmark. I mean, they realize that giving y'all a monopoly in this county was a bad idea, because with no competition, you wind up making shit product like GM. GM didn't really have competition in trucks, like full-size trucks and vans. They didn't start like Toyota and Nissan didn't start making trucks that compete with like a Silverado 1500 or Ford F-150 until like the 2000s. And then over time they had to kind of improve them. I mean, it's kind of interesting to see, a Nissan or Toyota pickup truck sitting right next to a Chevy Silverado Z71. That's the same size, the same height, same width, same length. They both have a very powerful V8 engines in them. It's kind of like they basically took their 4Runner thing but made it on a scale like a full-size American V8 truck. And so it's kind of like because they never wanted to adapt. And that's what I say. I'm saying it's kind of like and that's okay. They're just afraid to change. And if you stop living, then it's time to die. That's the thing. If you stop living, then and that's what I see. They don't want to adapt. They don't want to this. They don't want to that. Whether it's due to cognitive dissonance issues they have, pride, narcissism, or if it's just that they literally have created this horrible cycle that they don't know how to get out of. I just don't know why our shit has to suffer because of it. That's what bothers me. There might be a lot of logical explanations for it. It's still the fact that some incompetent people have fucked up for years, and now they realize, oh, we were wrong. But we've engineered our system to work in a wrong way, and because right now is a bad time. Because the thing is, I know that's why y'all don't want to do nothing, because you don't want to push for any kind of change. You don't even want the administration even realizing that y'all might have an issue. That's like it's like, does he see us? I hope he doesn't. Does he see us? You're like, I mean, there is a certain limit to where it's like they've took a lot of people off of food stamps. They've took away a lot of people's health care. But what's weird is that my health care actually got better. I used to have to make copay for for meds, and now I don't anymore. And I think it's kind of like I say, it's like that's one of the good things is that like I was actually I was going through on Gemini about that when I saw some things saying that and within a couple of years SSA would be cutting benefits by like a quarter or something. I was like, will this apply to people with SSDI? It's like I get paid on third. Mine was retroactively considered before 97 because I was born with this disability. It just was unrecognized. And the actor said, no, your mine is financially solvent all the way to 2099. So it's kind of like, that's why I'm glad at least they take care of the people who are the most, in need. Truly, they've been scientifically determined to be in need. But yeah, I think that, they need to, so I should get off the pot. There's only so much longer that they're going to be able to do this, but I think that part of it is, because they're like $1.5 million in debt. But like I said, I just feel like I really am just kind of aiding and abetting in them misleading the government to get paid. And I'm sure none of the politicians really give. Well, that's your opinion. It's like, yeah, but my opinion is correct. Yours isn't. I tell you that. And be like, you're not a doctor. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm better than that. I'm not arrogant like that. I'm arrogant a whole other way. So, I just think it's messed up. No, actually, I think y'all gonna get what y'all deserve. Yeah, the auditors are gonna have fun with you motherfuckers. Hey, if somebody runs into Rick Strom, can you ask her to say hi to my mama for me? Rick Strom, RICKSTROM. I'm trying to fix Gemini's summary thing because it keeps saying the wrong thing. TYT Sports. If y'all run into him, can y'all ask him to say hi to my mama for me because he's the only person that can. Yeah. Y'all be good. Take care. Love y'all. Bye.
Folks, I'd like to sing a song about the American dream. About me. About you. About the way our American hearts beat way down in the bottom of our chests. About that special feeling we get in the cockles of our hearts. Maybe below the cockles. Maybe in the subcockle area. Maybe in the liver. Maybe in the kidneys. Maybe even in the colon. We don't know. I'm just a regular Joe with a regular job. I'm your average white suburbanite slob. I like football and porno and books about war. I got an average house with a nice hardwood floor. My wife and my job, my kids and my car. My feet on my table and a Cuban cigar. But sometimes that just ain't enough to keep a man like me interested. Oh no, no way. No, I've gotta go out and have fun at someone else's expense. Oh yeah. Yeah. I drive really slow in the ultra fast lane while people behind me are going insane. I'm an asshole, I'm an asshole, I use public toilets and I piss on the seat. I walk around in the summertime saying, how about this heat? I'm an asshole, I'm an asshole, sometimes I park in handicapped spaces while handicapped people make handicapped faces. I'm an asshole, I'm an asshole, maybe I shouldn't be singing this song, ranting and raving and carrying on. Maybe they're right when they tell me I'm wrong. Nah, I'm an asshole, I'm an asshole. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get myself a 1967 Cadillac Eldorado convertible, hot pink with whale skin hubcaps and all leather cow interior and big brown baby seal eyes for headlights. Yeah! And I'm gonna drive around in that baby at 115 miles per hour, getting 1 mile per gallon, sucking down quarter-pounder cheeseburgers from McDonald's in the old-fashioned non-biodegradable styrofoam containers. And when I'm done sucking down those greaseball burgers, I'm gonna wipe my mouth with the American flag, and then I'm gonna toss the styrofoam containers right out the side, and there ain't a goddamn thing anybody can do about it. You know why? Because we got the bombs, that's why. 2 words, nuclear fucking weapons, okay? Russia, Germany, Romania, they can have all the democracy they want. They can have a big democracy cakewalk right through the middle of Tiananmen Square, and it won't make a lick of difference because we got the bombs, okay? John Wayne's not dead, he's frozen, and as soon as we find a cure for cancer, we're gonna thaw out the Duke, and he's gonna be pretty pissed off. You know why? Have you ever taken a cold shower? We'll multiply that by 15 million times. That's how pissed off the Duke's gonna be. I'm gonna get the Duke, and John Cassavetes, and Lee Marvin, and Sam Peckinpah, and a case of whiskey, and drive down to Texas.
You know, you really are an asshole.
Why don't you just shut up and sing the song, pal?
I'm an asshole, I'm an asshole. A-S-S-H-O-L-E. Everybody, A-S-S-H-O-L-E.
Picked the wrong week. Quit sniffing glue.
Coward Center Developmental Services Training Video.
What is wrong with you?
I'm retarded. What's wrong with you?
If you are watching this training video, then that obviously means that you are a new hire at the Coward Center Developmental Services. Welcome to your new never-ending career. Now, here at the Coward Center, we need to make sure that everyone is on the same page and everyone knows the proper way to assist an autistic client. Now, we will show you an old, archaic, and outdated way of thinking by showing you a medical professional and their ridiculous ideas from the 1980s. Watch this throwback to 1988.
Getting on your nerves, you just take a break. Spend some time away from it. You're telling me I just have to deal with this stuff. Is that it? I just got to deal with this stuff. Yeah, that's about it.
Now you see what he did? What he did is that he made it about the patient. He had specifically empathy for the patient first. That is not the right way to do it. The number one thing you need to make sure you do is that you feel important. That you feel like you're in charge of someone who has no choice but to accept your assistance. I mean, they actually have a lot more power than we ever let them believe that they do. But, you know, you just don't have to tell them that. But let me show you what our team does. We have a clip of us as a team assisting an autistic client who is, you know, having an emotional moment. This is how you should handle it.
Handle this.
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you want it on the phone. Everything's gonna be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
You see that? You see how they made sure that they established their dominance? You know, made them, you know, recognize that, you know, you will respect our authority. And the fact that, you know, they made it all about them making themselves feel powerful. They have control over, you know, this autistic client. I mean, why would we allow someone like that, some violent retard, to ever, you know, have any kind of, you know, dominance over us? We are the ones that are special. And this is considered the, you know, the most up-to-date scientific way to make sure that we continue to stretch our careers out as long as possible. That we can, you know, collect money from the government. We can continue with our never-ending billing cycles for Medicare and Medicaid. This can be a nice, long, comfy career for you. And we're glad that you chose the Coward Center of Burlington, Vermont as your choice to have a long, prosperous career in being a violent retard wrangler. This will be your only training video and there'll be no updates.
Get yourself a good time boy to make things worse. You're talking to a good time boy from around the way. Walk around town with a tuck pistol. Keep me around when your luck is low. Had a whole lot of problems, fist full of condoms. Just another motherfucking good time boy. Seduce me with safety, baby. I'm Vegas on a Sunday morning. Throw me some weight, I'm drowned in. Who's handing out free do-overs? Seduce me with safety, baby. I'm Vegas on a Sunday morning. Throw me some weight, I'm drowned in. Who's handing out free do-over? Life's a prison, only came here for the motherfucking view.
to the wrist, I'm lucky. When I'm drunk and alone, come fuck me. Stay alive, man, the world getting dusty. If you selfish little bitch, don't trust me. Just trying to get by being my day. Would you mind if I had a good day? Motherfucker, you talking to a good time boy from around the way. Walk around town with a tuck pistol. Keep me around when you like his love. Had a whole lot of problems, fist full of condoms. Just not the motherfucking good time boy. Seduce me with safety, baby. I'm Vegas on a Sunday morning. Throw me some weight, I'm drowned in. Who's handing out free do-overs? Seduce me with safety, baby. I'm Vegas on a Sunday morning. Throw me some weight, I'm drowned in. Who's handing out free do-overs? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Got a fleeting sense of well-being. I'm doing better than I deserve. I'm the luckiest man on this earth. If you got a cough, you can sip my serve. If you're feeling cold, I won't get my shirt. I won't make a sound even if I'm hurt. I'm the luckiest man on this earth. Ooh, let's get it poppin' tonight. I got some booze in the ride. I got some booze in the ride. Who wanna slide? Last night on God, I could've died. All of my twins, mixing in medicine, piling the game. Hall of Fame, I'm Matt Damon on rims. Handling biz. Little bitch, put the guns in the bins. Good time boy, from around the way. With a tuck pistol, keep me around when your luck is low. Had a whole lot of problems, fist full of condoms. Just not the motherfucking good time boy. Oh, you're talking to a good time boy. From around the way, walk around town with a tuck pistol. Keep me around when your luck is low. Had a whole lot of problems, fist full of condoms. Just not the motherfucking good time boy. If you're depressed at home, scrolling through your phone or whatever, put your glasses up. Let's put your glasses up right here. I got a toast. May we be who our mamas think we are. You know what I'm saying? May we be in heaven a half hour before the devil knows we're gone. You feel me?
What is wrong with you?
I'm retarded. What's wrong with you?
I just wanna tell you all, go fuck yourself.
I do not freebase cocaine.